All right. All right. Well, buenos dias. Good morning, C21 Coachella Valley Real Estate. I am so excited to be here with you guys today. I am Lexi Lopez. I'm the Senior Manager of Awards and Recognition, and we had the opportunity to meet a few months ago to kind of talk about the NAREP 10 disciplines. But today I'm here to talk about our survey program, our surveys that we send to each and every one of your consumers, to each of your seller, your buyers, your tenants, your landlords. And, we do that through this program called RealSatisfied. Along with this survey platform, the ability where you can survey and get your feedback and get those raving testimonials that I hope that you are posting on various platforms out there so people can find you and help you grow your business. It's also paired up with one of our most sought after award, which is the Quality Service Survey Award. And we all know that in any industry, quality service, your ratings, your testimonials, they mean a lot, right? They mean a lot to our business, and especially into real estate, right? Because each of you are getting this feedback as individuals. You are each looked at as leaders in one of the most biggest transaction ever that a family can go through or a person can go through, right? That dream of obtaining home ownership. And so the way that you get referral business, the way that you continue to grow your productivity is through these surveys. So I wanted to take the time to kind of, review what RealSatisfied is all about. I know you've had more than a year now to kind of acclimate to all the tools and systems that Century 21 offers you. But I wanted to highlight that today because I think it's very important. I was looking at the information from last year, right? Kind of like to see if some of you are using the tool, if you're sending surveys out there. And from what I saw in 2022, out of 183 transactions that were reported as closed for 2022, 40 surveys were successfully sent. So I think that there's a lot of room here for improvement. It's maybe about learning more about the tool and how to use it. Maybe you weren't familiar with it. Or maybe you were familiar with it, but you weren't using it. So the purpose of today is to go over what RealSatisfied does, go over the platform, go over the benefits that will help you as an agent, help you as an office, to grow your production, to grow that commission, and to, again, grow your online presence through the surveys and testimonials. So let me take a quick second to just share my screen, and hopefully I don't have too much trouble with this. We can start talking about the program itself. Okay. The only thing I'll ask, Moises, if there's any question in the chat box, or if there's any question that you see, because again, I'm only working on one screen and I apologize for that inconvenience. If you could just let me know if there's anything, please feel free to interrupt me. Say, hey, Lexi, I'm more than happy to pause and take a question, okay?
Got it, Lexi.
Thank you so much. All right. So, like I said, the last time I visited you guys was to talk about these amazing NAREP 10 disciplines. But I think it's valuable to kind of ingrain or revisit all of these 10 because it pertains to what we're sharing today, and especially discipline number 2 about being in the top 10% of your profession, because being good is not good enough. One of those ways is through the survey. It's through the testimonials, through the feedback, through the reviews. All of that will help you bring you on top of within your community, and to help you to grow your business. So I was looking at numbers in 2022, and one of the most interesting facts that I found was this right here. And I'm going to leave this up on the screen for a little bit so that you guys can read through it. But basically, we found that based on 2022 awards data, production data, we found that agents who actually obtained and earned a quality service award did 177% more commissions. So let that sink in, and I'll let you in on another fact. I want to say it was either 2018 or 2019. At that time, it was 151% more growth in commission. And look how much more we've jumped up. So it says a lot about the survey program, into the benefits of it, into growing your production, because we're all looking to grow that production, right? We want to be successful. We want to maintain, this success level and continue with productivity, no matter in what kind of market you're working in, right? So you want to make sure that you're doing everything that you can to get these surveys back. So I'm going to go backwards to this slide right here. So RealSatisfied. In a nutshell, this is important to you and to your business. You want to understand what your clients are giving you feedback on, right? What's the great things, and maybe uncover some the areas of opportunity that you can fine tune a little bit better, right? Maybe it's your communication skills. Maybe it's, I don't know, understanding what the consumer's needs are. It's very different things that, when you get this feedback back, is taking the time to review each and every question that consumer took to answer those questions, and evaluating yourself. How can you improve something that you don't track, right? So again, that pertains to your goals, that pertains to your financial wellness. It pertains to so many different areas, right? So this is what RealSatisfied offers you. Again, that platform where you can view these testimonials, view the feedback, and understand what your client experiences are. You also have an easy to manage dashboard to monitor all of that. You can monitor the survey statuses as it goes out, when it's completed, if it's completed with a testimonial, if it bounces back. I mean, there's so many different statuses, and I'll go over that in the next few slides as far as what exactly you're monitoring here. We also love the ease that RealSatisfied offers through their syndication possibilities. They can syndicate your approved testimonials to your Century21.com profile, to your Realtor.com profile, and many others. And I'll review that with you as well today, okay? And then, of course, how it ties into your awards and recognition awards program. Again, quality service is one of those awards that every consumer, or any consumer, would understand what it took for you to obtain that award. Why? Because it's based on your feedback. It's based on all the clients that you've closed with that are taking the time to complete the survey for you. So it's a very exciting platform. We actually initiated a partnership with them since 2015. It's almost coming up to 10 years that we've been working with this company. And, again, we've seen the success that it gives our individual agents, our teams, our offices within the Century 21 brand system, again, and we've seen the growth opportunity here for production. So our mission, as you know, is to defy mediocrity and deliver extraordinary experiences. So every time that you're sitting in front of your consumer, whether it be a tenant, a landlord, a seller, or a buyer, you're already thinking and you're taking notes as to, okay, these are their needs. What am I going to do to deliver this? And what am I going to do even above and beyond to deliver that extraordinary experiences? So hopefully that's your mentality every time that you sit in front of a potential client. Because it's very near and dear to us, again, this being our mission. I want to take this moment to kind of play a quick video for you in its regards of Brilliant Basics. I'm not sure if you ever heard of the Brilliant Basics, but when you get the time, and hopefully you have a little bit of a downtime, it won't take you forever, but this is at your own pace. Go to 21online.com, and on the main search box in there, you can search for Brilliant Basics. And it's going to take you to a page where you're going to find videos of your colleagues, of your peers, talking about how they tackle each of these 10 brilliant basics. And it's so funny because I know we have the NAREP 10 disciplines, that's NAREPs, but Century 21 has adopted what we call the brilliant basics, and it's also 10. So anyway, here's a quick video of our president and CEO, Mike Meitler, talking about brilliant basics, and you're also going to hear from some of your other peers.
Our mission is to defy the mediocrity that has become all too commonplace in real estate today. While other real estate firms focus on facilitating a transaction, we believe in delivering an extraordinary client experience. That's why a team of award-winning, top-producing Century 21 agents have developed the Brilliant Basics, 10 standards of client service that, when practiced, help you defy mediocrity and deliver extraordinary experiences. Mastering the Brilliant Basics can help you win more business, increase referrals, and help you stand out from the competition. Empowered with these skills, the Brilliant Basics can help you elevate your business from transactional to experiential and provide a journey your client will never forget. These are the 10 Brilliant Basics.
I am transparent. I build trust.
I consciously communicate.
I change the game with my knowledge.
I actively listen. I really do.
I am the master of their journey.
I get 121% every time.
I'm a relentless learner.
I'm a negotiator.
I create a holistic life.
I'm a memory maker.
All right. So with that said, again, whenever you get the opportunity, go to 21 Online, use that search box, enter in Brilliant Basics, and it's going to bring you to this video that I just shared. But each person that you saw highlighted speaking on a different basics is also highlighted with their own interview in expanding and sharing, their best practices to meet each and every one of these basics. So again, we know you as the real estate agent, you are the leader of the biggest transaction that this family or this person will ever go through in their lives, right? You want to start building that trust. You want to make sure communication is there. And these are things that we know make common sense, but sometimes we need a refresher or we need a reminder, so maybe, taking this, I don't know if you guys could take a screenshot, but whatever you do, going to visit more information about Brilliant Basics, writing them out, make a little flyer for yourself, keep it as a visual so that every time that you're meeting with a client, you're making sure that you have these 10 basics in mind, which hopefully at the end of that experience that you have with your consumer, they're going to take the time and give you that feedback. So it's very important to refresh ourselves, reset ourselves, and equip ourselves to make sure that every time we're going back in front of a consumer, we're going to, again, defy the mediocrity and deliver that extraordinary experience. All right, so let's get into some details about the survey and about the program. So in 2022, in the beginning of 2022, RealSatisfied was able to finally introduce a survey in Spanish. We were missing out on our Latino homeowners and their feedback because of the language barrier. As we know, the Latino home ownership is rising. That's the biggest minority group that's been rising for the past 8 years, and it's going to continue to do that, right? So we want to make sure that we're capturing everybody's feedback, and hopefully that language is not a barrier anymore. So I wanted to make sure that you guys were all aware that when you're serving your Latino families, that this survey is also available in Spanish. Your transaction coordinator or your office administrator can request a Spanish survey to be sent out to that client when they're entering in the closing information in Dash. Or let's just say that part was missed in Dash. That's okay, because it feeds over to RealSatisfied anyway 24 hours later. And then you, the agent, you can select and update that survey and change the language from English to Spanish and resend it. You can resend these surveys as many times as you'd like. I will be candid that the survey is about 40 questions. And I know you're probably listening and saying, oh my gosh, what do you mean 40 questions? We understand that it is long, and we're thankfully working with RealSatisfied to fine tune that a little bit better, so that in 2024, we're able to shorten that survey and not be so much of an inconvenience. And I don't want to call it an inconvenience because, again, if you're delivering that extraordinary experience, that client is going to not even hesitate to complete that survey for you. But I'm just telling you this so that way you're better equipped and informed that when you're sitting in front of your consumer and you're going through this extraordinary experience with them, that you're being candid and you're saying, hey, I'm going to value your time that you're going to take in completing this survey. It may take you 2 to 3 minutes, but I'm letting you know that every one of those questions is important to me. It's about being candid and it's about being open. Okay. So that's why I'm sharing with you this ahead of time so that you understand exactly what it is that your consumer is going to be receiving. So the way that it works, I kind of already mentioned it, but I'm going to repeat it again. Everything is fed from Dash. Dash is the system where your office reports all of your transactions. And once it closes, that information that gets fed to RealSatisfied 24 hours later. And why is this important to know? Well, it's important to know because as soon as you finish your transaction and you're closed at the table and you got the paperwork ready and you're going to give it into your office administration, you're making sure that you have an email address for your seller or your buyer or your tenant and your landlord. So the agent, you have to make sure that you're collecting this information. And you might hear from a consumer and say, you know what, I'm actually changing my service provider. I don't have an actual email address right now, but maybe I can connect with you later and give it to you. No problem. As soon as that transaction feeds with the closing information, you, the agent, receive a notification. It'll let you know that, seller Mary Smith has been entered here for 123 Main Street. However, we're missing an email address. You can fill it up at any time in RealSatisfied. A notification is sent if there was an email address, and if it was successfully sent, it'll let you know. If for some reason something was maybe miskeyed, or maybe an email address no longer exists, and it bounces, you're going to receive a notification on that. And that's why we love this platform so much, because of that instant notification to you, the agent, letting you know that this is what happened with this survey. It allows you the time to communicate with your customer and just say, hey, remember we talked about a survey coming to you? Well, listen, a survey's coming from RealSatisfied. It's been sent to this email address. Please take some time to complete it. It's very much appreciated. So again, you get those instant notifications so that you in turn can communicate with your consumer and let them know about the survey being sent out. And again, if you need to address something, if something was miskeyed, or that that you need to update an email address, all of that is sent to you so that you are always in the know. So 24 hours later, after your transaction is reported as closed and Dash, goes into RealSatisfied. From RealSatisfied, again, notifications are sent out to you. After that, like I mentioned before, RealSatisfied surveys are tied into our awards program. So we have a separate tracker or a separate dashboard where you can track and monitor your performance in obtaining the quality service award and looking to see how you're meeting the minimum requirements. That's fed over every 48 hours. So there is some kind of a lag, but again, it's just for you to just monitor your performance and your progress towards meeting the awards component. So the way that you access RealSatisfied, again, it's through 21 Online. All of our tools and systems are accessible through 21 Online through SSO, which is single sign-on entry. And so it's the same here for RealSatisfied. But I do want to point out that there's, again, 2 different dashboards for quality service. So if you go to 21 Online and you go to Menu, Productivity Hub, Awards and Rankings, it'll give you all of the awards components, everywhere from like award forms and criteria to award rankings. And of course, then we have the Quality Service Survey Awards dashboard and the RealSatisfied/QSS. Again, the QSS Awards dashboard is simply a tracker to monitor your performance into meeting the minimum requirements. There's no action items to take in that particular dashboard. But I like to say is, again, you want to monitor how you're doing in meeting goals, how you're tracking, throughout the year. Take the time to look at that tracker and look to see how you're performing. With anything and everything, you need to measure yourself so that you can either, fine tune any opportunities that you've uncovered, or keep going at the same pace that you're going, right? So you want to make sure you're taking the time to evaluate yourself. So that's the QSS Awards dashboard. The RealSatisfied/QSS, that takes you to the actual platform. So you would click on Go to RealSatisfied, and it'll take you to the actual RealSatisfied survey platform. So that's where you can, resend surveys, you can review testimonials and approve them. You can update an email address. That's where you take all the action items to. So I am also happy to say that RealSatisfied has been able to revamp the look and feel of your actual profile. So I believe this was executed at the end of the first quarter this year. And hopefully you've had the time to visit and look to see what that profile looks like for you. Everything's pulled from Dash. So it'll have the picture that you have in Dash. It'll have the contact information from there. And as you can see, it kind of looks like that Facebook page, right? Where you can actually customize everything that's on this profile page, right? So I encourage you to take the time, if you haven't done so already, to visit your own RealSatisfied dashboard. Look to see what your profile URL looks like. You can actually add that profile URL to your email signature. You can add it to your social media platforms, profile pages. There's so many things that you can do with this, and it's an easy link for you to share with your consumer. So as we know, our consumers are going online and they're looking up your information, right? They're stalking you. So, here you're giving them this URL where your raving testimonials are going to be appearing. They can see what your ratings are. They can learn more about you, right? Hopefully that little bio in your about area personalize it and customize it as you seem best fit for yourself. And it's a great way to go ahead and share that information with your consumer. As I said, that page is customizable for you. Again, you could change your background picture, you can change your photo profile, you can update your personal information, like your first name. Maybe you want to go by a nickname instead of your first name. So you could do a bunch of things here within this page. And it's very easy to manage and to update. Like I said, you'll see all of these editable areas with the little pencil on there. That's customizable. So you can change that as often as you like. I do want to point out this special area on the actual profile page where you're able to add all of your social media URLs. You can add as many as you like. As you can see, they have a big library as far as which platforms you can update and add on there. Because again, it's something that your customer is going to stalk you on. They're going to go on Instagram. They're going to go on LinkedIn. They're going to go on all these areas. So why not give them a one-stop shop with this profile URL where they can look up all of that information at a glance. I do want to make sure that I'm candid here that if you do add other social media accounts here, that does not necessarily mean that testimonials are being fed there. Because unfortunately, some of these other platforms do not allow third-party vendors to syndicate into those sites. They're not able to do that. So just wanted to make sure that that was clear, that this is where you can add on your social media accounts. Your customer can review you and they can view that information, but that doesn't mean that testimonials are fed there. But there is a way to get them on some specific platforms that I'll go over in the next few slides. Again, taking the time to review your dashboard settings. You want to make sure that your display ratings are turned on, because what's the use of getting all this feedback if you're not sharing it anywhere? So you want to make sure you take the time to review your settings, make sure that all of these options are turned on, so that way you are using and maximizing the value and the benefits of using the RealSatisfied platform. Everything is step by step, and I know you see a lot of arrows here, but it's simply just to let you know all of the things that you can be reviewing. So this is a screenshot of what your dashboard would look like if you were to go into the survey area. You can use the filter options. You can change completed surveys to sent surveys, to bounce surveys, to really anything, so that you can review all of those statuses. If you need to address something, for example, missing customer details, or something was bounced or undeliverable, you'll see that column labeled as action, and you simply click on those three dots to open up and expand another menu option, and then take the necessary steps to address whatever it is that you're looking for. I highly recommend, as well as I said for the QSS Awards dashboard, for RealSatisfied. I know we're getting system notifications. I know you're probably inundated with emails coming from everywhere. So maybe it's best if you set up some time within the month where you're going to sit down in front of your computer, maybe 15 to 20 minutes, and you're just going to review everything that's on RealSatisfied. I highly recommend it because successful agents that achieve Quality Service Pinnacle or Quality Service Award or even President's Award, they're taking the time to review all this information. So you want to do that for yourself. Set yourself a little schedule reminder, put it on your calendar, 15, 20 minutes on this specific day of the month. I'm going to go ahead and just review all of this information. And believe me, it's going to make a difference. You don't want to wait till the end of the year to try to address something that happened in the first half of the year, right? Because by then, and depending on the communication that you have with your customer, let's just say that times get very busy, that you're not able to communicate as often with your customer. How is it going to look, you asking in December for this survey feedback when it's something that closed, let's just say, in February, right? So you want to make sure that this is something that you make it as a habit, as part of your process throughout the year, as part of your goal setting, right? I'm hoping that after this call, you're going to set a goal for yourself to become a Quality Service Award-winning producer and an author, right? Because it's going to make a world of a difference. So make sure that you take the time to review all of this information and take a look at your dashboard, get familiar with it, start using it and start learning about it. And it is going to make a big difference in your profession. Okay, as I mentioned, hopefully when you're getting these surveys back, that your customers are taking the time to provide a written statement, a written testimonial at the very end of that survey. And if it does come back with a testimonial, again, the notification you receive will let you know completed survey it's awaiting a testimonial for your approval. So that's something that's important, right? Because again, testimonials are what is going to be consumer faced on your social media platforms, where they can read about a client's experience with you as their real estate agent. So you want to take the time to review it and approve it. It does not make any sense for you to receive it, you review it, and not do anything with it, right? So you want to make sure you're taking the time to review it and immediately approve it. And everything within this platform is just a click away. For approving a testimonial, you're able to, customize it as well, as far as the colors that are being used, answering to make sure that you want everyone to see this raving testimonial. And so again, everything is very simple, very step-by-step within this platform. And it makes it a pleasure to actually use and be able to perform all of these different functions. Once you obtain that graphic, I'm going to go back a slide. Once you obtain the graphic for this, you can syndicate it out to different areas. So again, making sure your realtor.com URL is set up. It automatically goes to C21.com's profile. So as soon as you approve it, it's automatically there within 24 hours. It'll feed over. But then you also have the option, as I mentioned earlier, to do other social media platforms. So as I mentioned too, RealSatisfied, not because of their lack of trying, but has reached out to Zillow, to Google+, to Facebook reviews to say, hey, can we syndicate? Can we feed into there? And unfortunately, it's a no. But RealSatisfied was able to come up with a way that you can, with an additional step, get that feedback, get that testimonial that your consumer shared on RealSatisfied onto Facebook reviews, Google+, and Zillow. All you need to do is make sure that, again, you go into your profile settings and you want to turn on these buttons for these different platforms. So let's just say that you have something that you want to share on Facebook review, making sure that button's turned on. And once you turn on these options, it's going to take you again step by step with little mini forms or pop-up boxes for you to complete and connect to your personal Facebook page, Google+ page, and your Zillow pages, right? And what happens is once you receive a completed survey with a testimonial from your consumer, you're going to get an email and it's going to let you know, hey, you have a testimonial to approve, go in and approve it. You go into your dashboard, approve it, and then it's going to ask you how to encourage reviews. So as long as you set up Facebook reviews and Google+ and Zillow, it'll ask you, do you want to do this on encourage reviews, which basically it's going to give you, as you can see on the screen, you're going to copy a URL that's going to be sent to your customer. And all it's saying is, do you approve sharing this testimonial that you already shared on RealSatisfied to this other platform? And if they say yes, and hopefully they will, they don't have to retype anything. They don't have to, it's basically copied and paste from whatever they did in RealSatisfied onto these other sites that you're sending them to. So it's very easy. It does require an extra step. However, that's the way that it's working today. I do have great news that for 2024, they're making it even more simpler. So not only are they shortening the survey, at the very end of the survey, again, your customer is going to have the opportunity to put in a testimonial. And then right after that, it's going to ask them, do you give permission to also post on these other sites? And so it's going to be even much more simple and a much more pleasant experience for your consumer in 2024 to get the survey feedback over to you. So as I mentioned, you want to take the time, review your profile settings, and set up all these other pages. I've learned more and more from other agents that they have Google+. They want to expand on that. So they have a Google+ page, and they're making sure that those testimonials are shared onto those pages as well. So they have turned on this option for encourage reviews. So again, taking the time to go into your dashboard, go into your publishing areas, and turn on those toggles. If you have Facebook reviews, if you have Google+, if you have Zillow, turn on the ones that make most sense to you. And then that way you can experience and also take advantage of expanding those testimonials views to these other sites. So all of this is one step, maybe some multiple steps, but again, it's going to give you a pop-up menu for you to go ahead and follow. All of these are very easy to do. As I said and I mentioned, the dashboard is very friendly, very user-friendly, and it'll take you no time to set this up. And you only have to set it up once. That's it. Once you set it up, it's set and done, and you don't have to worry about it anymore, about resetting it, unless you change your page for one reason or another. Okay, so REO transactions. If you work with bank investors, Fannie Mae, just repeat clients that, you know, especially if you close a bulk quantity for them, like let's just say like 10 plus throughout the year, we know that those consumers are not going to take the time to complete a survey each and every time. I mean, obviously they're coming back to you for the repeat business, but, you know, maybe it's, you know, asking them to say, hey, you know, I'd like to send you at least one survey this year. Can you complete it? And then the rest of the 8 or 9 that come in or more, let us know at the awards department, because what we would do is we would remove them from your award counts so it doesn't count against you if you don't get those surveys sent out or returned. You know, we want to make sure that, you know, we're able to help you with that, because I know that we know and we've learned for all these years that those repeat clients, they won't take the time to do that. But the only thing that we do ask you is, because we're not able to like identify it in any way within the system, you just let us know. You know, this is the email address for our quality service help desk. It's managed by me and 2 other of my colleagues. And so we answer your inquiries on a daily basis. But if this pertains to your book of business where, you know, you have a lot of these repeat clients and they're not going to take the time to complete a survey, please send us an email. Let us know and just say, hey, you know, these customers are repeat clients of mine or investors, and I'd like them removed from our survey counts. And we'll go ahead and do that for you, okay? So that email address is c21.qff@century21.com. We will send you an email back asking you for the information that we need, and then, you know, you go ahead and respond. Now, I know that the screen says send it on a quarterly basis. That could be on whatever basis you'd like throughout the year. It could be monthly, it could be bi-weekly, it could be whatever cadence makes most sense to you. But again, don't wait until the end of the year to try to address this, right? Because you want to be working towards this goal or towards these numbers throughout the year. You don't want to wait till the end of the year because it may be too late. So there are some eligible and ineligible transaction types. So all residential, pending on their property types, are eligible for a survey to be sent for that client. We do also offer rental surveys, so that's for either a landlord or a tenant. The only thing is that those are not syndicated, so those are not fed from Dash into RealSatisfied. That would require your office administration to create those manually for you in RealSatisfied. And of course, if there's ever an issue or there's not understanding on how to do that, send us an email at that email address that I just mentioned, the c21.qss@century21.com, and we're able to help that for you and get that entered for you. So that's no problem. Ineligible transactions would be commercial type transactions as it currently stands right now. However, as I mentioned already, that the survey itself is being revamped and shortened, and it would include and would be eligible for commercial type transaction. Because right now, the way that the survey is set up, it's specifically to just residential. And so again, we want to make sure that we are capturing all types of clients that we have, that we work with, that our agents work with, and that includes the commercial business as well. So that's something new to come for 2024. And again, I'm so excited about 2024 already. It's crazy, you know, especially with this program. This program is near and dear to my heart. You know, I value it a lot. I've seen so many agents grow within the system, you know, and it has a lot to do with quality service surveys. And so again, my pleasure to have the opportunity to be here with you guys to talk about it. So as I mentioned, you know, depending on what type or property type there is for your residentials, this is a list that's very handy to have. Again, you could have it posted around your office somewhere, you know, especially administration, so that you understand what type of transactions merit a survey, because it can help you answer questions to your agents. So you can find this on 21 Online. If you go to menu, go to work with clients, go to RealSatisfied, slash quality service. And then in the document section, you're able to find this, and this is like a print. You can print out this 1-page flyer to just get familiar as to what property types are eligible for a survey and which ones are not. And if you take a look at the ones that are not, it's more commercial type transactions. So again, for 2024, that'll be eliminated. And it'll open it up more opportunities to get surveys for these other type of transactions. But the way it stands now, this is the way it is right now. In that same area, in that same documents area, we have other resources that will help you have a conversation with your consumer and let them know how important this feedback is to you. So we have these closing flyers where, as you can see, it'll answer the questions that your consumer is going to have, like, where's this email coming from? Is it coming from C21 or is it coming from RealSatisfied? The answer is it's coming from RealSatisfied. What does the email look like? So again, this is a visual that hopefully at the closing table, when you're going through the paperwork, hopefully this is part of your conversation, reminding them that feedback is important to you. And I mentioned that as a reminder because hopefully throughout that real estate experience with you, you're putting in seeds about how important feedback is to you. So it shouldn't, at the closing table should not be the first time your customer hears about a feedback opportunity. It should be throughout the whole experience. So we have it in English. We also have them in Spanish. So again, to help cater to your Hispanic clients, that way it's in their language and they understand it, okay? So whenever you get a chance, visit that area, download all of this. You can save it to your computer. You can do printouts, whatever you like. You can add it onto your presentations. Again, all the information that you can equip your customer with would be beneficial. I also want to throw in here MoxieWorks. If you're working on building up your Moxie sites and you have raving testimonials, you can attach them to your Moxie site. So we do offer this 1-page how-to flyer, and it's available again on 21 Online. Again, go into menu, go to work with clients, RealSatisfied / quality service. It'll give you step-by-step instructions on how to set it up. Again, once you set it up, it's done, and it'll just keep on doing that action until whenever you stop it. But anyway, it's very easy to follow. I highly recommend that you visit that page and print out all of these resources. I do want to take the time to kind of shift and talk about the awards criteria. I know I've talked about how the survey program works, but here's the awards component, and understanding the criteria is very important. I get so many emails at the end of the year saying, Lexi, I had 100% score. I had, 50% of my surveys returned. How come I didn't get an award? And it's most likely because they missed one of the other bullets, right? Maybe they didn't meet 8 minimum returned, by a specific date. So it's very important to understand what you're working so hard for, and understanding what that criteria is. So what we do is we want to make sure that 80% of your transactions that have closed within the year, so from January 1st through December 31st, we want to make sure that 80% of those have a successful email, and that way that survey is sent to them successfully, right? We also look at 50% of those being returned, and the due date for all of our award programs is January 3rd, 2024. So anyone who closes with you in this year, in 2023, as of January 1st through December 31st, they have until January 3rd, 2024 to complete a survey for you. So 50% of those 80% that went out have to come back. Your score needs to be a minimum of 90%. That's your overall score. So we take the average of all of the scores individually for your surveys, and we look at that, and that's the number you need to meet. Again, we do weight it. So it's 40% performance, 40% satisfaction, and 20% recommendation. And again, we measure all of the results that come back for your 2023 closed transactions from January 1st through December 31st, and again, having them returned by January 3rd, 2024. In addition, if you are an individual producer, you need to meet 8 minimum return surveys. If you're a team of 2 or more, does not matter how many more people are on your team, 12 need to be returned. And as an office, you have to have 30 minimum returned by that due date, January 3rd, 2024. And again, taking the time to measure, to track, look at how you're performing throughout the year can help you with that, right? Because, if you're looking at the screen and let's just say that the last one was not completed, well, it should trigger you to say, oh, wait a minute. my buyer, Anthony and Alexandra, they're good buyers. You know, we had a great experience. They're very communicative. It's weird that they haven't responded yet. So that should trigger you to then go to your RealSatisfied dashboard and resend that email invitation for them to complete the survey. Now, I do want to say that before you just go ahead and just resend it, make sure you're communicating that with them. It's maybe making a quick little phone call and saying, hey, Anthony, Alexandra, I'm trying to check in on you. How's the year going for you? How's the house going for you? And things like that. And just say, hey, you know, I noticed I didn't get a feedback completed from you. You know, would you mind taking the time? You know, if I resend it to you right now, would you be okay with completing that survey? And most likely than not, they're going to go ahead and do it for you, right? Again, it's all about your communication. It's all about how you request it. You know, a lot of people are happy to give their feedback. And they know, especially if it's important to you, and if you deliver that extraordinary for them, the better that they're going to go ahead and complete that survey for you. So again, this is just for you to track your performance and see how you're monitoring into meeting the minimum requirements. As you can see, everything you're shooting for all green bars here. If you see something that's not green, that's an area you need to focus on. So again, make it a good cadence throughout the year for yourself to remind yourself to take a look at this dashboard as well. Again, if you receive the notifications, I mean, hopefully you're able to take action on it immediately. Like if something bounced, or if something was not delivered correctly, or if there was a missed email address, you know, you want to make sure that you're taking the time to take the action and get that squared away, right? But again, I know that our inboxes get inundated with all kinds of emails, so we may forget. We might see it on the phone, that pops up, and then we forget about it because our day just takes on another road, right? So that's why I say it's good to make a calendar reminder for yourself, so that way that alert can just let you know, hey, it's time to check into your RealSatisfied dashboard and review any actionable items. As I mentioned already, the resources that they can be found all on 21 Online. Go to that menu, go to work with clients, RealSatisfied/quality service. You're able to find all information about RealSatisfied, as well as the resources that I mentioned in the earlier slides, you know, for you to print out and get more familiar with the program. So as always, I'm here to support you, myself and my director, Lori Levy. We make up the awards team. So if there's anything that we can do for you for quality service, just reach out to us at c21.qss@century21.com. Anything awards related, if you have a question on rankings, or you have a question on any of our master's programs, Centurion program, whatever that may be, please feel free to send an email to c21.awards@century21.com. And if you haven't done so already, go on to Workplace, follow the awards and recognition Workplace group. Because again, we like to post reminders. We also like to see what the system is doing as far as recognition. You know, we learn from other offices across the network, you know, of different ways that they recognize their agents. And it's a fun thing. It's a motivational, it's inspirational, you know, and that's what we're here for. You know, we're a Century 21 family. We're here to uplift one another. So definitely take the time to join us on that Workplace page. And with that, that's the presentation. I hope you took down some notes. I hope that it was valuable to you as far as, you know, understanding what RealSatisfied offers you, the benefits of it, how to use it, and hopefully it's something that you can start tracking today, if you haven't done so already. But there's a QR code on your screen right now. If you wouldn't mind also evaluating me as far as how this presentation went, because again, I like to look for areas of opportunity, and I also like to see what's working and maybe what's not working. So I value your feedback, and I promise it's not 40 questions, just a few questions. But again, I appreciate your feedback. So with that, I will kick it open to the floor. If there's any questions or anything you want me to review again, I'm more than happy to do so.
Awesome.
I think we're good. Does anyone have any questions?
I do. You know I do. I'm sorry.
No, sorry, Tanya. Go ahead.
I always have questions. So I apologize. I was texting with the client, and I think you went over this, but I was sidetracked. So the issue that I have is that we have this survey that's 40 questions. And then I also need to do Zillow, that you have to start an account. And as much as we hate Zillow, we need those, you know, we need the recognition. So did you say there was a way to convert the two? Because I'm having a hard time getting clients to take the time. As much as they love me, the only person that took the time this year is the one that was not the happiest, So is there a way to convert them so that it's not so much work for them?
So, okay, so I can share, I'm gonna just find the slide really quickly, and then that way I can share my screen again and show you what that looks like. But yes, what they do is what's called the encourage reviews. You just have to make sure that within your RealSatisfied platform that you have set up your Zillow configuration, right? That you've configured it. Oh, okay, didn't go there. Okay, hold on. Sorry, I gotta move through the slides. But yeah, they call it encourage reviews because RealSatisfied is not able to syndicate directly onto Zillow. So they came up with this other alternative method, which is called encourage reviews. So when you get the opportunity, go into your RealSatisfied dashboard, go into your profiles and your publishing settings, and making sure that your Zillow reviews is turned on. Once you turn it on, you're going to meet this page right here. That's going to ask you for the email that you use for your Zillow account. It'll ask you some other questions. And then once you set it up, any completed surveys that you receive from RealSatisfied that has a testimonial, it'll give you that option that it'll turn on encourage reviews. You click on it, and then you copy this URL that they will provide for you. You copy the link, copy the URL, and you send it to your client. So all it would do is send it to your customer, and it's just going to ask for their permission to approve to also posting whatever they already wrote up in the testimonial and RealSatisfied onto Zillow as well. And that's it. They don't have to retype anything. They don't have to complete another separate survey. It takes the testimonial they already took the time to complete within RealSatisfied and copies it to your Zillow.
That's awesome. Thank you. Sorry for making me repeat that.
No problem. I love it. Because again, there's a lot of agents that do not even know that this option exists. And once they hear about it, they kind of related, because now they're not asking for a duplicate survey again. They already, took the time to do the RealSatisfied one. It's just asking them to copy, to approve the copy and paste from RealSatisfied. That was a great question. So thank you, Tanya.
No, of course. Thank you. I appreciate it. It saves my clients a lot of time because they just refuse. So as much as they love me. So thank you.
Sure. And then just a reminder too, I had shared it previously before, but I'd like to reiterate it, is that, for 2024, they're going to make RealSatisfied is working on making sure that the experience of completing a survey is much more easier for them. So not only, again, are they shortening the surveys, but then with this option, with the encourage reviews, they're going to offer it within that same survey. So you don't have to copy a link or anything like that in the future for 2024. So they're looking to simplify it for the consumer as well.
Beautiful. Lexi, thank you so much for explaining that. You do so well presenting.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I do have one more question.
Sure.
Did you mention something about approving a review? Do we have?
Yes.
Yes. If it's a review that is just.
So there's multiple ways I can interpret that. So
yeah,
within a survey,
okay.
right, you have a testimonial that they write something up.
Okay.
That written part is what your agent can review and approve.
Got it.
Second to that, let's just say that no testimonial was included, but they completed each of those questions and it gave them, different marks. Maybe one area is a little poor, maybe other areas it's better. That is not something that your agent would be asked to approve or not. That's their number, and that's what's going to be included in their cumulative overall rating on their C21.com profile page. So there's no how do you call it, like cherry picking which survey can be displayed or not. In that sense, there is no cherry picking on that. However,
at least do the testimonial written portion.
Yeah. So if it's not a tasteful testimonial, then obviously that does not have to be published. The agent has the power to not approve it. Okay. I will also say though that sometimes, like what I've seen around, for the years that I've been here, is that, sometimes the agent receives something that is not tasteful as far as their scoring, but it had nothing to do with them. Maybe it was something, the loan mortgage or the home inspection, or, you know, something that's not pertaining to the agent, but because the client has the opportunity to give feedback, they give it and they take it out on the agent. If that's the case, let us know. We do allow for an agent to drop one low scored survey per year, but you would just have to communicate that with us.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, Lexi, it was never our fault. It was the lender's fault, Lexi. All right?
What's that?
It was the lender's fault. It wasn't my fault. What the
Yeah,
hell?
no, it wasn't your fault. Never, Moises, never your fault.
Right? It's dead. Okay, real quick, team, I kind of wanna go ahead and take advantage of this training. So for next week's training, we are going to meet with, a home inspector. That'll be about 30 to 45 minutes, and as soon as we're done with that, I want everybody to bring in their laptops, and, we're gonna go ahead and set up our profiles right away. If you, wanna do it ahead of time, no problem. But I know some of us, like myself, have a really hard time with technology. And so if you are one of those people, come on in. Vanessa's gonna guide us. We're gonna set everybody's profiles. One thing that stuck to me is the productivity, how much better it is when you have your reviews done. So that's exactly what we want as a team. And I'd like to go after that award. So so let's go ahead and plan next Tuesday after we meet with our home inspector. Bring your laptops, let's set up your profiles. And then I also want to remind everyone, next Friday or this Friday at the Board of Realtors, we're gonna have the panel for top producers, individual agents. And I know in talking to those top producers, they have a lot of good information to share with us. So I would love for you guys to be there. $10 if you're a member at the Board of Realtors. And in order to register, you just call the board and they'll charge your credit card on file. So it's easy, guys. If you guys don't have any other questions, we're done here. If you guys have any questions outside of this, please feel free to give me a call. Lexi, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. You really helped out.
Thank you guys so much. And Vanessa, I'll email you the recording link so you can share with the office, okay?
Awesome. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
guys.
Appreciate it.
Thank you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.